Alright guys, welcome to the channel. So, as you can probably see by the name of the channel, my name's Lee and I live in Thailand. I've been here for about 2 years, although I have been travelling here for about 8 years, so I know quite a lot about the place. Today I need to renew my visa, so I'm heading from a place called Udon Thani. So I'm in Nong right now, and first things first, I need to change some money from Thai baht to USD, US dollars. I'll tell you why in a second. Right, so you're going to need to find a money exchange just like this one. If you can find a one which is called Super Rich, you tend to get the best rates, but to be honest with you, it all depends on currency. If you change 1400 Thai baht, you will receive 40 USD, and that's how much you're going to need for your LAOS visa. One more quick note about the notes: when you're getting the USD, make sure they are pristine perfect. If they have an ink mark or a small crease or anything like that, the LAOS immigration staff will not take them at all. So make sure they are perfect. Ask the staff politely and they will do it for you, okay? Yeah, very common occurrence in Thailand. Alright, so USD acquired. The border from here is about 5 minutes. This is a LOAS, by the way, just a large LOAS. You can get the money from anywhere, like literally doesn't matter, any money exchange. As I've said, try to get from Super Rich though, if you're changing Thai baht. Right, before I came to the border, I decided to jump in 7-Eleven just to cool down a little bit. It's like 34 degrees outside. I forgot to mention that there's 4 different ways that you can travel up here. I decided to drive, I just find it more convenient. You can take a a van from Central, that'll cost you about 50 baht. You can take the train, there is a bus. The most expensive way is a taxi, but that's going to cost you about 600 baht. You know, full tank of gas, which cost me about 160 baht. That'll get me here and back, so for me that's the best option. Alright, so this is the border. The Thai-Lao friendship border, if you want to call it that. But basically this is where you go to take the bus. It takes you across the Mekong River into Laos. So I'll get that all documented for you. I'm a northeast lad, by the way, so forgive the accent. See all these guys hanging around offering you taxis before you've even stamped out of Thailand. These will always be the most expensive taxi in the Vientiane. Now, the last time I was here, there was a guy who was just in my dick from the second I was here, like, oh, you know, I can get you the best price, I can get you the best price. Turns out he was the worst price. I'm gonna see if I can find him here and I'll show you the guy, so I'm pretty sure that's his hustle. Another little tip: never wait until you get to the border to get your USD, your US dollars. They don't have them. It's the one thing that you need, and it's the one thing that they don't have. So yeah, don't come here. There's actually a little kiosk to the right here. I've just tried to record it there and they said no, you can't record it. So but the requirements for the visas are changing all the time. So if you're unsure about if you can come back into Thailand, or if you need to know any information, it is there, okay? I just can't show you because they've just told me to get out. So just spoke to the immigration officers inside, and they were quite annoyed at me for trying to take a video, but aside from that, they told me that I can't come back into Thailand via land. I've got to do it by flight, so I've got to book a flight and fly back into Bangkok. Now, the advisor who I spoke to, he was the same guy who tried to deport me back to Laos nearly 2 years ago. Very bad-tempered, very unreasonable. So I've decided I'm going to go into Laos as planned. I'm going to show you all of that, by the way, and then I'm going to come back tomorrow with high hopes of getting back into Thailand. If not, I may need to go to the embassy and apply for a tourist visa, which means I need to then book a flight and fly into Bangkok. They're going to look at my passport and realise I've been here a long time, so I could get deported. So it's getting harder, let's just say that. So once you've stamped out of Thailand, you're going to get your bus ticket here, and this is going to cost you 30 baht. Bus turns up here, Takes you across the bridge, across the Mekong River, as I was saying, and that gets you into Laos, and then you've got to get the visa. I'll show you all that when we get across. The lighting's pretty bad here, so I do apologise, but in regards to getting the visa, the Laos visa, all you need to do is, once you get off the bus, there's a little kiosk thing with 4 windows. You knock on one of the windows, they give you a form. There's 2 of them, fill them in, hand them to the officer. You need either $40 or I think it is 1900 baht. And then one thing that you need is a picture as well, like a passport photo. If you haven't got one of those, they will charge you an extra 100 baht. So in total, you can pay up to 2000 baht for the visa. But if you've got the US dollars and you've got your passport picture as well, that'll only cost you 1400. I was going to show you the whole visa process, but I had a little conversation with a couple of guys who were there. Basically, they were just doing the border run where you walk around and you come straight back into Thailand. Now, I was told that you can't do that anymore. I was told very, very specifically that you need to stay in Laos for 1 day at the very least. Okay. Now, if you remember earlier what I was saying to you about the guy who was really bad-tempered with me, he was saying, 2 to 3 days, and then you need to fly back in. I don't think that's the case. So, like I say, I'm going to stay here 1 night. I'm going to go to the border in the morning, and I'm going to hopefully get through. Don't take what they say too seriously. It's all depends on the individual officer. If they're in a bad mood, they'll knock you back. If they're in a good mood, they'll let you through. But the guy who was there from America, he said that he's been doing it for 2 years. Just walking around, not even going into Vientiane. So, yeah, that's all I've got for you. When you get your passport back, a little tip for you here. Try and find some foreigners, or just at least anyone who speaks the same language as you, and try and share a taxi into Vientiane. There is a bus, but you may be waiting a little while, and to be honest with you, your hotel might not be anywhere near the bus station. So try to find a couple of people who speak the same language and just arrange to get a taxi into central Vientiane, or just, arrange something where they take you to your hotel and then you can get off to your hotel, something like that. If you've got plenty of money, don't worry about it. Me, I like to try and save a few quid here and there. So yeah, it's all up to you. Right, I'm not a drug dealer anymore, so I don't have 2 phones, so I can't show you on the second phone. Just kidding. But this, if you can read that, InDrive. That is the app that you use within Lao. It's basically like Grab or Bolt, and that will give you access to taxis, because if you look around Lao, you will not find taxis. You will just find tuk-tuks that are trying to rip you off. I think I mentioned before, it was like 300 baht that they wanted to come here. The tuk-tuk drivers going to the border wanted like 600 baht. So that's the app there, InDrive. Honestly, not much to see. I think that's like one of the more popular nightclubs over there. I can't see the other side, so fuck knows what the name is.
And as an owner, you say, hey, like an athlete, I got 21. Can you do something for me?
Okay, so back in Thailand now, thankfully. I was going to record the whole process of going back through the border, but I'm going to be honest with you, I had a little bit of trouble. The first advisor knocked me back. He said, you've been in Thailand too long, you need a long-term visa. And he told me to go and speak with the supervisor, which, if you can remember from earlier in the video, this is the angry guy that doesn't like me. So that wasn't an option. What I've done is the same thing I did, it was almost 2 years ago, when the supervisor said, like, go back to Laos. I walked back out, and they've got these, I wish I could have shown you, but I was a little bit annoyed, like I said, and there's these pillars where you can just kind of stand behind and they can't see you. So all I did was, I pretended that I went to see the supervisor, but I didn't. I just chilled for 5 minutes. And I just went to a different immigration officer. There's 4. The first one, he wasn't angry. He said hello to me and everything like that, but he was quite strict on letting me in. The second guy didn't say a word, just let me straight through. So this has happened twice now. The whole purpose of this video was to update you on the process of the border run, and because there's a lot of rumours going around about things changing and about it getting difficult. It's just a coin toss. It really is. It's just, you know, maybe they don't like your face, maybe they're in a bad mood. I really don't know, but I've managed to get through with trouble. I'll say it like that. It hasn't just been a smooth process, okay? In May, they're going to be bringing back the TM6 form. It's either May or June, but it's not going to be the same as what it was before. If you don't know what a TM6 form is, it used to be this little white and blue form that you used to fill in on a plane, or if you were entering Thailand by land. They've scrapped that a while ago, but now they're bringing it back, but it's going to be an online form. So, but this isn't going to be until May or June. So as of now, nothing's really changed. All I will say is they are getting a lot stricter on who they let in. And if your passport is like just totally full, you know, Lao, Thailand, like mine is, they're looking at that and they're not happy with it. I have had an education visa. I was on an education visa for nearly a year. And then I went back to being a tourist because they were offering 60 days on entry. You go to immigration, you extend for another 30 days. There's 90 days in Thailand. Moving forward, I'm gonna possibly look into staying in Laos a little bit longer, or, you know, maybe just trying something different, because I just find the whole process a little bit stressful. I don't like the idea of going to the border and just, you know, maybe I get through, maybe I don't. I don't like that. Another thing I will say as well is they do rotate the staff every few hours. So if you, for example, you went to one advisor, he said no, you went outside, chill for 5 like I did, went in and you got really bad luck and they said no the second time, you could just hang around, like I say, just keep out of sight, hang around and try again in a couple of hours when they rotated the staff. You might have like 4 chances of getting through, and at that point I think you probably will get through. I'm still learning how to edit, I'm still learning how to, you know, get camera angles correct, get the audio correct. I am going to buy a microphone, I am going to buy a better camera. This is all on my budget phone. I'm going to be putting out content at least once a week. If you wouldn't mind liking and dropping a comment in the section down below, it would really mean a lot, really helps with the algorithm. I know there's not a lot to subscribe to at the moment, but I'm going to be putting out content on a regular basis. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, hit that sub button and see you in the next one. Cheers.